All right, welcome to Yard Work this week. This is the victory by the Miami Dolphins over the San Francisco 49ers. I have 7 plays for you today. And this is the first play for the Dolphins offensively. And as you can see, they are in 20 personnel. Now, let me get them lined up here. All right, they're lined up. All right, and this is what they're going to try to do. This receiver up top right here is Devontae Parker, and what he's going to do is he's just going to run a little delay route and come across. When they're going to run this receiver up the seam to try to press this safety. Now, this is cover one, man free. At least that's what they're showing, right? Now, let me tell you the rest of the route tree. Down here, you have just a straight 9 route. And then you have Chandler Cox who's going to come across the formation and then leak out into the flat. And then Gaskin runs like a little option route right here. Okay? Now, this is the pre-snap look for the 49ers. Now, let's see what happens soon thereafter. Let's run it slow. As you can see, here it comes. You ready? Linebacker comes with Chandler Cox to be man up on him. Now look at the safety. He's moving off the hash, and I'll explain to you what is happening. That's right at the snap, okay? Both cornerbacks are in outside leverage. See it? It makes sense because they're about 6 yards off of the sideline. Usually that's how San Francisco plays their corners, okay? But the safety has recognized what's happened. So they have a shift going on, and they have 2 wide receivers up here, so he's going to change hashes. Fitzpatrick knows that and knows he now has Preston Williams matched up with good old Brian Allen. And this is just pitch and catch. Just go for it. You got the matchup you wanted. You got the safety to move off of the hash by alignment. In 20 personnel, by the way, there's no tight end on the field here. There's 2 backs, 3 wide receivers. You got exactly what you wanted. Good protection, by the way. Look at that. Look at that pocket. Look at that pocket. There's the throw. Big gainer on the first play on offense. Nice catch, Preston Williams. He could have scored, really. Nice play. Good read by Ryan Fitzpatrick. All right, the score is 21-7. The 49ers are trying to get back into this game. There's 5 minutes and 19 seconds left in the first half. It's 3rd and 14. They need this first down. So they come out in what is 11 personnel. And this is a route tree that they've done quite often, okay? And what they're trying to do is try to cause some type of confusion and get the safeties to call out switches, okay? And what they do is they put the receiver in tight right here. You see it? This is George Kittle. So obviously this is who they want. George Kittle's they're gonna run him right across the field here. And they're hoping that some switches have to be called right here, and you could have a good throwing lane right across the middle for George Kittle. They're gonna run this receiver across to try to get a safety to leave with him. And who knows what you can have for George Kittle back here if you don't play this coverage correctly. Dolphins see it, and they key on it very quickly. They have man-to-man coverage on the outside, and you're going to see how they're going to cover this. First of all, as far as what they're going to try to do with their pass rush, this is a simple wide rush by Agba. Cedar's just going to try to blow up the center and try to take somebody else with him. And then Van Ginkel is just going to try to hit Trent Williams to try to get Kyle Grugier-Hill, who's coming off of this coverage, and blitzing, trying to get him free on the quarterback. It doesn't work out, but they do apply a lot of pressure. But what's key here is the coverage. You can see it rolling right here. I'm going to run it really slow so you can see how it develops. Now watch George Kittle. There you see it. There you see it. There's the release, right? Now, right here, where's the passing lane? I guess you can throw into this zone right here, right? But watch very quickly what happens. See it? That's right as the pass is being delivered. This is the final read for Jimmy Garoppolo right here. They have that taken away. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2 guys. They have Kittle bracketed. He's not going to get anything. Rowe has him in trail. McCain has anything over the top. They have the back in the flat. This is great coverage all around. Garoppolo cannot make this throw. He's wide. Dolphins get off the field. Good defense. All right, this is an early dagger in this game. There's 4:23 left. It is 21-7 is the score. 2nd and 11. And you're going to notice something right away that's very, very familiar. Do you see it? Well, if you're a fan of my work here at Yard Work, you would recognize this. Okay, this is a 3-by-1 formation. This is something that they've done a lot with Gesicki inside. What is it that they've always done, right? They've always sent somebody up the seam, and they always had Gesicki coming across, trying to press the safety. Usually what they're trying to do is trying to get this safety to move off the hash and pick up a guy going deep and try to get Gesicki behind the linebackers into a zone somewhere around here. It's been successful before. Fitzpatrick missed it against Seattle. So what does Changeli do, right? Well, Changeli reverses it. Changeli put it on film. San Francisco scouted it. They're in nickel defense, and you're going to see they're going to try to take away that exact route tree. So what do the Dolphins do? Very simple. They're 3-by-1 formation, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to release the back. They're going to run Preston Williams into what is a hook. And then they're going to have these 2 receivers come across. And instead of having Gesicki release on the dig, he's going to release on the flag. And it completely confuses the safety. You're going to see it now. Let's run it in slow motion. And let's see how it works. And by the way, the 49ers are in man free right there. See? Head up on each receiver. They see it, and they have it scouted, and they're defending it. Stop it. What are they doing? The backer's going out with the back out into the flat, right? This is all man. And the safety has already bailed on that side of the field, which is the 3-by-1 side, which I don't understand this coverage at all. This man is obviously playing something that he was told to do. Maybe he scouted the route tree before. He thought the route combination was coming since they tend to run it a lot out of this formation, but they completely fooled him. And as you can see it right here, look at the read. They have to call the switch, right? This switch has to get called right here. Obviously, they had ones, and let's run it right back so you can see where the switch has to be called. Okay, let's run it. All right, here it is. There's this, right here is the switch release right here. These guys have to call their men, okay? Obviously, he either has to come over or stick with his man. He has to come up. But what you can't do is what happens, and you're going to see it right here. No man's land. They let Gesicki get past them. Great anticipation. That ball's already in the air. This is a 6'6 receiver that can run. That ball should be in the air already. They blew that switch. And the safety doesn't make any sense why he's playing on this hash, especially when it's 3-by-1 on this side. It had to have been that they had scouted this route combination and they thought it was coming again. It didn't. They threw them for a loop. Nice second level play calling there by Changeli. Really interesting. He changed one route in the route combination. He changed Mike Gesicki's route from a dig to a flag route. 70 yards. Nice play. All right, let's get a little bit of this running game going here. Dolphins are in what looks like 12 personnel, right? But it's not. This is Adam Pankey, extra offensive lineman. Normally, this would be Robert Hunt, and Jesse Davis will be playing here, as Austin Jackson will be at left tackle. But in this game, we have Jesse Davis at left tackle. Robert Hunt is playing right tackle. So Adam Pankey comes in as the extra offensive lineman. Adam Shaheen is in for Durham Smith. Doesn't make any difference as they run the play very well anyway. It's not a big gainer. It's only for 4 yards, but it gives you a feel of what the Dolphins want to do with their running game. They're facing the 49ers base defense in what is man-free single high, and you get to see it right here. You could almost see the lanes already open, right? Absolutely. Nice cut by Gaskins. He gets downhill, gets 4 yards. Not a, spectacular play, but when I draw it up, you're going to see the possibilities. You're going to see how well they blocked it. Let's get lined up on the head-on view. Okay, as you can see it right here, they're all eyeballing what the defense is going to do. They're in an overfront, right? This is their base defense. Okay, they got a 3-tech, and they got to try to send this guy to try to occupy the center. Obviously, that's what he wants to do. Okay, but the Dolphins, what they're calling is it's similar to some call it an ISO play, but it's really not. They call it ISO 0, but it's not really ISO 0. It's like a split zone look. It's an odd running play, but it's kind of intricate in how it's supposedly practiced. And what they want to do is they want to get a double here. They want to double here. They want to double both defensive tackles. They want to kick out with their tackles. Kick out with their tackles. And they want to release the tight end. But as these doubles get made, they do want to shave off of these guys and try to get onto the second level. And ideally what you want to do, since it's like an ISO 0, which means that it's going to run right up the center's butt right here. What you want to create is opportunities for Gaskin, okay? And you want to create, namely, a cutback lane or runs right through these holes right here, okay? Let's clear all of this up, and let's run it slow so you can see it develop. And look at it right there. See it? Let's run it back a little bit. Let's run it back a little bit so you can see. Perfect. What does that look like to you? Looks like doubles across, right? And it looks like this man is going to shave off and try to peel off to the second level. Now look at what Gaskins is looking at. Gaskins has everywhere to go with this. The tackles do a very good job of kicking their men out. Shaheen probably should have released inside and tried to get on a backer. Solomon Kinley does a nice job, but this defensive tackle does a very good job of taking away one of the options, okay? And he kind of forces the cutback lane. But let's run it and see how we end up. Robert Hunt releases his man, forces the cutback. Look at this. Hat on a hat, huh? Look at that. A lot of options. Gaskin does well to get those 4 yards, but who knows? Maybe a bounce to the outside would have been more fruitful. But it's well blocked. And a new wrinkle by Changeli on his run game. All right, this is really, really good communication on defense. The score is 24-7. San Francisco needs something on this drive. It's 3rd and 10. There's 1:52 left. The ball is on the 25. And you can see what they're trying to do. It's a very tricky route combination. I'm going to try to draw it up for you here in just a second. As you can see, they have what is 11 personnel. Let Kittle come into motion, and he's setting. All right, we're set. Dolphins are in dime. You can see that it's split safety look, so it's probably cover two. It looks like they're man up, right? But what they're going to do is rather tricky. Now, since we have an overload, George Kittle's in to block, okay? Now, what is his running back going to do, right? Well, this receiver is going to have an outside release and it's going to try to hook, right? This receiver is also going to hook. But this receiver is going to try to press this safety on the dig, right? But they're going to run McKinnon right behind this receiver up the seam to press this safety. What they're trying to do is trying to occupy one or the other, trying to get them to call a switch right here. If they don't call it correctly, it could leave one of them completely open. Let's run it and let's see what happens. Slow. By the way, the Dolphins, they're bringing 4. They're dropping a man out. They're dropping Baker out. Van Ginkel's coming in wide. They're trying to disguise who's going into what gap. But let's run it. As you can see, here it comes. Ready, ready, ready. There. Okay, Nick Needham is on this. He has to either call the switch right here or stay with his man. He does the right thing. He stays with his man. Now, watch the safety take away this throw, which is where Garoppolo wanted to go with the football. Let's watch it. See, he pulls it down. Why? This throw is taken away. So now he's looking at McKinnon. He's like, okay, I got it fine, right? He forgot about Bobby McCain, who's playing on this side of the field, has this half. He's right on the hash. He has this taken away. Garoppolo really should probably eat this. He tries to make the completion. He throws what is a slot wheel route for McKinnon. Sails it a bit when he should have probably just thrown it out toward the sideline, and it's intercepted by Bobby McCain. Big play. Starts putting the finishing touches on this game early as the Dolphins are on their way to a 30-7 halftime lead. Good defense. Smart on Nick Needham's part. All right, this game is not over right here. 49ers come out in the second half, get a touchdown. It's 30-14, but the Dolphins answer. And for all intents and purposes, this puts the finishing touches on this day. Dolphins have what looks like a 5 wide receiver look, right? And let me show you what they're trying to do, okay? Now, this is Patrick Laird, okay? So they have 11 personnel because this is Mike Gesicki. And the 49ers, you're going to see it right before the snap, how the corners are going to begin to back off and give what looks like a quarters look, right? But this safety right here, and this is who they absolutely destroy with this play call and alignment. This is Devontae Parker, and this is Mike Gesicki. This safety is keyed on what is the action right here, and he wants this called perfectly. So in case they do something like this, he wants it called perfectly. So there is no mix-up, and they don't leave a free runner right at him, right? But what the Dolphins do is pretty simple. They're going to run Parker up the field, and they're going to give this look like Gesicki is going to give some type of wheel action to try to make them call a switch, but he's just going to linger right here. This is just to occupy this safety and to widen them out. And why are they doing that? And why are they running an action over here to occupy a safety and widen them out? I'll explain it to you. The reason they're doing that is because Patrick Laird is just occupying this corner, right? This one right here, which is Isaiah Ford, is just going to press these linebackers to get them to stay in the short zone as they run Preston Williams right up the seam. And this safety is going to be flat-footed, and he's just caught staring at what's happening. This split safety look gets absolutely defeated. Let's run it, and let's run it slow so you can see it. By the way, the 49ers bring 5. There is a free rusher, technically. You want to always pick up the ones that are closest to you, so when you leave the far guy out, the farthest guy out, in on the quarterback. they actually get a guy to come in through the B gap. So protection wasn't perfect, but Fitzpatrick did enough time to throw the ball. As you can see, now it's a quarters look. See it? It's a quarters look. Now, this is the man right here, right? Preston Williams. Let's keep running it slow, and let's see what's happening. You see it? You see this action? Safety's completely occupied by it, and it's widening the split safety look. Now look at all the space that Preston Williams has to run to, right? Now look. He's at the bottom of his drop. The ball's already gone. Okay, ball's in the air. Let's bring it back. Here, right there, he has the ball in his hands. He knows he's going to get hit, but he's already planted. He knows where he's going with the football. He knows that this action right here has occupied the safety and widened them. As you can see, this is a pretty wide split, and it's leaving too much space right here. So Fitzpatrick, this is just really good communication. He's just going to put it up. He's going to put it up right down the hash for Preston Williams because this safety is flat-footed. The linebacker is occupied looking at Isaiah Ford. And you have to have a guy that's out wide 6 yards from the boundary. He's occupying a corner, right? So Preston Williams, this is a gimme. And it's just poor communication from San Francisco's part. Technically, what they have to do, let's bring it back to show you how they have to play this. You see how these safeties are right here? One is deeper than the other, okay? Because one is keying on Gesicki and Devontae Parker. They have to communicate. And they either have to stay on the hashes or one has to go high and one has to take away the intermediate zone, okay? And if they do that, they take away some throwing lanes behind them. It still ends up with one-on-one coverage, Preston Williams against the safety. But it's better than what they got, which was just a completely defeated coverage as Preston Williams just runs right up the middle unimpeded. Ball's in the air. It's leading Preston Williams toward the goal line. Touchdown. 37-14. All right, I got a run for you here. The score is 37-17. There's 13 minutes left. 13 minutes, 43 seconds left in the game. The Dolphins are just trying to kill off this clock, kill off the game, finish it off. And they begin to do so with some runs that look like this. Now, this is 22 personnel. We're just going to run it slow so you can see it develop. This is 22 personnel. They have a tight end, which is an extra offensive lineman in Pankey. This is Shaheen. This is Chandler Cox, Miles Gaskin. Let's watch it. See a nice little counter action, right? Look at the lane being created. Chandler Cox leads them into the hole. This is a called hold, by the way. This is where they have to run it. It's this play probably has a call. I don't know. What would you call it? Too tight, 33 counter, something like that. So yeah, too tight right, 33 counter. So it's something similar to that. Could be 35 counter. Too tight right, 35 counter, I think is probably how you would call this. And this is how this play works, okay? You have Chandler Cox here. Let's get him set. Okay? Let's get him set. Because he has kind of like a crossbuck action, which is pretty nifty. I like it. You'll see it right here. Let me get him set. Go ahead and set Chandler Cox. All right, there he goes. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back right here. You're starting to see what the action is, right? They're coming across. Let me draw it up for you. Okay. This is very simple. This is, all right, too tight right. And let's call it 35 counter. And maybe they call it 35 counter buck, something similar to that. But what they want to do is they want to release offensive lineman across. Okay? And get this type of action going right here. As they pull Solomon Kinley into this hole And they have this crossbucks action where Myles Gaskin's going to do a small counter step. He's going to get the handoff right here, going right, as Chandler Cox leads him into a lane right here. What you want to do is, since you want to seal right here, okay, and you want to have Chandler Cox lead into the hole as Solomon Kinley comes on the counter to kick out. So you're creating a lane right here where your fullback is going to lead your running back right into the hole. Now, let's run it so we could see the action. There it goes. See it? Perfect. Here comes Solomon Kinley coming around. They have the free man right here. You want to get this double. You want to clear this lane right here. You can see the crossbuck action. Myles Gaskin is getting the handoff right here, and Chandler Cox is coming over here, and he's pretty far off, right? But he's going to lead him into the hole. Watch. There they hit it. See it? He's through the hole. Let's run it from right here so you can see it again. Solomon Kinley kicks his man out. Chandler Cox comes into the hole. Look at that seal right there. And he's off to the races. He has the safety to beat. Good blocking downfield, by the way. Mac Hollins, by the way, is a hell of a blocker. That's 21 yards. Good stuff.